got the email about Zoom for,
Oh,
from the podcast thing. I figured you were doing something.
oh, I was going to live stream it on YouTube if it will. Okay, okay, that's on a delay. So let me mute that. All right, let's hit record. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Attitude Era Wrestling Review Podcast. And if there's anybody out there watching live on YouTube, how the heck are you? I am your host, your 1, 2, 3 time armchair booker of the year, and I am joined by the disembodied voice of that man with the beautiful, sensational, velvet vocal cords. His name is Arnold, and he is my tag team partner, and we are here tonight. I'm way out of order here, so we'll get there in a minute. I introduced you. Just how the heck are you, Arnold? I'm crazy tonight.
We're live, pal.
I know. I'm pulling a. Hey, can we do it? Can we do a do over?
Oh,
No,
fun
we
stuff.
can't, big man. Sorry, Sid. No. Oh, but yes, that is Arnold. His girlfriend's cat ate his camera cord, so he's vocals only tonight, which normally I'd say that's if it was me, that'd be the better part, but I miss seeing your beautiful face, you handsome bastard. But tonight we are going to be reviewing Nitro from December 8th, 1997, live from Buffalo, New York. And we'd love to be doing Raw right about now, but still, no network, no Netflix, no Peacock. I haven't checked Paramount Plus just for the hell of it. It's not there. It's
Jeez
nowhere.
Louise.
So thanks for selling off the rights to everything, and we can't even have a proper archive anymore. Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah. So how the hell you been, Arnold?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Minus the whole disembodied voice thing. Gotta let my charm come through the
Eh,
the voice.
we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I meant to ask you earlier. I know we're live, and it's probably not a good time to ask. Can you hear my fan?
No.
Good. It's hotter than hell in here. Speaking of places, it was hotter than hell. As I told you guys a couple weeks ago, or a week ago, or whenever the heck it was, I was going to go as a photographer and shoot a local wrestling. And let me tell you, that building was hot at first because it was in the old armory, which has no AC or anything, and it was like 97 that day.
Ew.
They finally opened up one of the garage doors and put in one of those giant, like, circulating, not circulating, but like industrial size fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it down to sweltering in there. So it was comfortable. But yeah, it got down. And once the sun went down, it got cool in there. But let me tell you what, a big shout out. I'm going to go ahead and name drop them, even though probably nobody listening to this will ever hear of it or watch it. But it's called Route 33 Wrestling in Spencer, West Virginia. And let me tell you what, put on and you know me, I'm not an indie guy. I'm not. You know that. Not a big indie wrestling kind of guy. But let me tell you, they put on a heck of a show because it was the most indie show I've ever like seen. I've never seen a full show like that, but I've seen clips. And this wasn't like Spot Fest and blood everywhere. No, it's all family friendly. Lots of, I mean, there was so many kids there. It was crazy. Like they had about 100, 115 people. Good crowd for a small little town. The in ring stuff was, I'm not gonna say it was gonna win like match of the year or anything, but it was good. Like they could work. There was one guy who was really good. I wish I knew exactly who he was. all I know is I didn't get a like a program or anything. I meant to grab one and forgot. His nickname, his initials was JMD, but big dude, look look the part, and he basically just was in an extended squash because apparently he pissed some guy off, but he could flop around like a fish like pretty well. Um, I only saw, speaking of me hating indies, I only saw like one indie spot, and I think I texted you as soon as this happened. There was a women's match, and back to back succession, a girl takes a stunner, doesn't fall down, doesn't bump on it, just stands up, takes a stunner and a diamond cutter, and kicks out at one.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
And then she lost with a spear.
Oh, that's one way to do it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with if you're going to do the diamond cutter or that's if you're going to do the stunner, don't do them back to back like that because that's an automatic. That should be 1, 2, 3 with your foot on your chest.
Right, every
But if you're
time.
going to do one or the other, kick out at two. But no, it was, I mean, stunner, stand up wobbly. The girl stands up, grabs her diamond cutter, rolls her over, hooks the leg, one kick.
Mm,
That
a
was
one
me going.
count?
I was me going. One count on a back to back finishers. I mean, I know it's not maybe your finish because apparently hers was a spear, but yeah, that was the only problem I had with like the way a match went all night long. There was a tag team match that I don't know who booked it. I don't know if it's the woman that owns it. Yeah, there's another cool part. It's owned by a woman who runs it and everything. She has the
Right
like
on.
quote unquote on screen GM role and everything. She's the one I went through to talk about doing the pictures for it and everything. She's really
Huh.
cool. But I don't know whoever booked it. The tag team match was kind of cool. Um, there was a team called Grappling Inc. and they were going up against some other team, but one of them was hurt, so it had a fill in. Well, the team that had the fill in, the normal guy, they were heels, but the fill in guy wouldn't do anything heel work. Like he was trying to win as a face, so he got pissed every time his partner would try to cheat. And after the match, his partner tried to turn on him, and the Grappling Inc. came in and saved him. It was a pretty cool spot. I mean that
Huh.
tip of my hat to that's good booking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know their backstories and how long because it's been going on for a while. I just never had a chance. Every time they have a show, which is like 3 or 4 times a year, I've always had something I couldn't go. This is the first time I actually got to go, and I almost didn't get to go because afterwards I had to drive 3.5 hours to go to my mom's house. I was exhausted.
Oh goodness.
But did I send you a picture of their top baby face and their top heel?
Yeah.
Yeah. How the fact do you have the guy with like um body modification? I don't know what to call it, like horns implanted in his skull, not like fake. I'm talking like under his skin on the top of his head, and every piece of metal in his face, and just tattoos and the way he dressed screamed heel to me.
Right.
And then you have the slick haired guy named Handsome Nick Hamrick. And now, which one of those you think is going to be your baby face and which is going to be your heel?
Right.
It's the exact opposite. Hamrick was the top heel that I don't know what he did, but everybody hated him. And when the other guy came in, I think his name was Hero something. Hero Napier, I think was his name. He came in and everybody I mean, the roof blew off with like 120 people when he came out to start the show. I was like, because he came out and I'm like, the crowd goes nuts. And I'm like right there at the bottom rope going, looking around going, what? I was expecting to start throwing stuff. But I got a couple pictures of it. There's this girl, she couldn't be more than 8 or 9, got into a face in one of the heels and was like throwing her finger at his face and gotten into it. It was hilarious. But overall, good night. If you're in the area, and you're hearing this, I think their next, it may be August. It was August or September, I think. Check them out. It's on Facebook, Route 33 Wrestling. You can see my pictures for my photography business. Great. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out. That was pretty cool. I like that. I'll be definitely be going back.
Right on.
All right. Back to Buffalo in 97. All right. So we have Shivani, Larry Zabisco, and full 2 hours of Bobby Heenan tonight because no Zabisco this week. Did I say Tony Schiavone and Larry Zabisco?
No, you said
I meant okay, because I wrote. The funny thing is, I wrote Larry Zabisco. Yeah. So no Zabisco this week. We start out with a replay of JJD, James J. Dillon, and Eric Bischoff suckered him into a match last week. That's just how we start the show. All right, Arnold. Let's get to our first match. I think you're going to know what I'm going to say.
Uh-huh. All right. First
what
up.
What grade did I give it?
If I'm being generous, a D minus.
I'm not being generous. I saw Ray Trailer. I saw NWO. I wrote skip and wrote F. Started fast forwarding till what happened, Arnold?
Well, Trailer got a win in this one. Like an actual win.
What? Yeah. How did he do that?
Well, I don't know what arena that was there in Buffalo. You would think with all the money that Jim Kelly brought them with Super Bowl championships that maybe they'd keep the lights on in Buffalo. So like the lights went out and they were out for a pretty good minute. You would think they'd go to commercial break.
Well, what happened was they wrote the check for the electric bill, but they got to the company late and it had one of those little slots where you had to stick it through. And every time the Bills tried to put the check through, it kept missing wide right.
Love it. Football humor.
Suck at Buffalo.
So the lights are out for like a good solid 2 or 3 minutes. And then when the lights come back on, Conan's flat on his back. I thought it was NWO. I thought I was like, all right, here we go. Ray Trailer's about to get like curb stomped by everybody. Nope. He said, screw it, going for the pin. And he beat Conan. Maybe who did it? We don't know.
You know what? I might fix the grade of this. Because, I mean, that lights out segment does change little things. Because I wrote F before that ever happened. Because it is different. Because I have said that if I see, just him and NWO, I'm going to skip it because you know what's going to happen. This is different. So I'm going to give him a little bit of praise for that. Arnold, I'm actually going to give this segment a B minus. I'm going to change my grade. Because that lights out was a game changer, really, because his story had been for the last 3-4 months. See NWO, fight NWO, get spray painted.
Yep. So yeah, this is a nice change.
So it is. I'm gonna switch it to a B minus.
Fair enough. Honestly, I ended up giving this one a C plus. Like, I was just like, it's a match. Of course, the thing with the lights happened, but overall, before that, it's kind of like, I don't know. It took it away from me because it's like, okay, you guys were just biding time at this point, which it's whatever. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. I don't think I was feeling generous that day.
Yeah, it is what it is. We'll see where it goes from here. Then we have we have a replay of the NW attack on DDP from the finale of last week's show. Watching him get his ass handed to him. Then we move on to our next match. Barbarian with Jimmy Hart versus Mongo. And I wrote, the Four Horsemen have been no more for 6 months. Can somebody please tell Mongo to have a different way to come out Then it's throwing four fingers up. I mean, seriously. Um, I I laugh because the camera caught Barbarian loudly calling spots. You could, I believe it was Mongo was in the corner. Barbarian was going to whip him out, and he said something like reverse boot, as in reverse it and throw me, and I'll give you a boot. I think that's what it was. It was something like that, but you could easily hear what he was saying. Mongo did the flare flop. Um, then the simplest setup ever. Mongo just kicks Barbarian in the gut. Tombstone 1, 2, 3. I'm assuming they were going had to go to the finish real quick, like they went over or something, because that finish came out of nowhere. Did you notice
Mm-hmm.
that?
I did.
Yeah. They're going back and forth, back and forth. All of a sudden, Mongo kicks him in the gut, flips him upside down, drops him on his head. 1, 2, 3. Um, Mongo wins. Mongo grabs Jimmy Hart and punches him. And here comes Ming to the rescue. Tongan death grip on Mongo. Not a great match. Like I said, kind of awkward to the finish. Um, I'm tired of Mongo coming down with the Four Horsemen gimmick. He needs something to refresh him up. He's getting really close to just being there. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see him back with Alex Wright and Deborah. That was
No.
worse. But yeah, I gave it a C+. It was there and just barely better than there.
Yeah.
What about you,
Uh,
Arnold?
as I said, I don't know. I also gave it a C plus. I have nothing to add. No notes.
Cool. Next we have me Gene with the Disco Idiot, and we later we're getting Saturn versus Disco Idiot for the TV title. Let's see. He talks about losing the Jacqueline. He says, "Say it to my face," which I wrote. I do it all the time. Watch the podcast. I'll say it right to your face. Hey, Glenn, you're an idiot. Choke on a pretzel. All right. Anything to say about Disco Idiot?
Um, no.
All right. Then we get Mean Gene with back to back with Mr. Buff Bagwell. And he talks smack on Lex Luger, challenges him to a match later tonight. Cool. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be a good match. Let's
Mm-hmm.
pull behind the curtain. We talked about it a little bit on the pre-show, but for our listeners here, if you weren't aware, um, Marcus Bagwell had I believe it was right leg amputated earlier this week due to complications from a car crash he had almost 5 years ago. So us here, me, and I believe I speak for Arnold when we say we wish him a speedy recovery because he said he wants to get over this, get back in shape, and have one last match in the ring. And you know what? I'm all for it. Let's lead the road to redemption right to his retirement match.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Arnold, what's our next match?
All right. Next up, we have the man of 1,000 ice holds, Dean Malenko, taking on Maui. I mean, Prince Ikea. And
Maui from
fair to say,
Wish.
Timu Maui.
No, that's right. Timu now, not Wish.
And Princey's getting quite the push, isn't he? You think about it. I mean,
Seems to be.
picked up a couple wins over the last couple weeks, and now he's going one on one with Dean Malenko with our good buddy Eddie Guerrero on commentary. Fun stuff. And you could put Dean Malenko up against a wet paper bag, and he would put on a technical clinic. He they were, it's like these guys were all over the ring, but they weren't, if that makes sense. It was I mean, to me at least, it was a very technical match. And it's almost like Dean Malenko basically said, okay, this is what we're doing. And Prince Ikea was like, all right, I'm going to play right into it. Cool. Then there was a double knockout there, which I was like, okay, what's going on here? Because I honestly, I thought that was going to be the finish. I was like, please don't do this. This isn't fair. And then Dean Malenko hits a pump handle power bomb right into a Texas Cloverleaf. Obviously, Malenko wins this by submission. And I had to ask myself, is this the end of the Prince Iakea run?
One can only hope. I mean, we'll see. Wait and see. No, like you said, Malenko could have a match with a paper bag, and it would be a 3-star match at the least, and the bag would be over. And he made Prince Iakea look like $1 million here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not good in the ring. He's not good at all, really. He has a look that they could have done something with and never have so far. But Dean pulls him through, has a good match. I did like the springboard sunset flip for a 2 count by Mr. Maui.
Mm-hmm.
But did you grade this match? Did I cut you off?
Oh no, you're fine. I left it open with a question, but I gave it a B
Oh,
minus.
okay. Not too far off. I gave it a B plus, and that is entirely because of Eddie on commentary, who is just gold. I mean, he's always gold with a mic in his face. But this one, just every match. Oh, here's what I do in that one. I can counter that one. I'll do this. I'll do that. Love Eddie on the mic. That was
Mm-hmm.
that gave it a B plus for me.
Can't argue with that.
All right. Then we have an NWO advertisement making fun of the giant. Sorry, those of you watching on YouTube got my good giant impersonation now. Oh, nothing new there. Jim Kelly and Bruce Smith are in the audience. Good for them. We see a video by Kevin Nash calling out the Giant for a match at Starcade. Says they want to prove who's the real Giant. He's like 4, 5, 6 inches bigger than you. So I'm going with him, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. We will see if he accepts because Mean Gene, who's hopefully getting paid overtime tonight, is with the Giant, and the Giant accepts the match. I went through a lot there, Arnold. Anything comment on there?
Um, I think it's kind of funny that the Giant basically admitted he was one dimensional and said, it's what I do best. So he's like, I'm got a surprise for Nash at Starcade. Bet you couldn't guess what it was. That's right.
Hey,
It was a
between the
choke
two of
slam.
them, if he's one dimensional, between the two of them, they'll have 7 moves.
Yeah. That
All
was
right.
funny.
So next, we'll move on to our next match. We have Benoit versus Lodi. Again, supposed to be Raven, but Raven isn't there. This was a 100 to nothing squash. Diving headbutt, crippler crossface, tap out, Benoit wins. Lodi got Zippo squat, not a punch, not a chop, not a kick, not a nothing. He took an absolute ass beating, and the flock didn't come in to help Lodi.
Nope.
Benoit grabs the mic, calls out Raven. Of course, he's not there. I'm giving this 2 weeks and it's going to start being fast forward. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Either I'm going to give it to the pay per view. If at the pay per view I don't get to see Benoit versus Raven, I'm done with it anytime I see him. It's going on way too long. Way too long. Um, I gave it was short. That's the only redeeming factor. But this was the end of hour one, and this didn't exactly entice me not to turn over and see what Vince and Company's doing. So I gave it a C plus.
Huh. I think I was feeling a little generous with this one. I ended up giving it a B. And I'll be honest, a lot of that was because finally we got an end to a Benoit match with the flock, involving the flock, that didn't end with the flock stomping him into the canvas. And it was a 100% bona fide squash. Like, yeah, Lodi got no offense. I think Benoit finally said, "Yep, I'm sick of this crap." And here we go. And when somebody like Benoit grabs the mic, you know you're in trouble. B.
Yep. I don't have a problem with that. All right. Well, you know what that means, don't you?
I sure do.
It's our number two. Ding, 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 ding. That's right. Hour number two, and we're still with Shivani today in Heenan because Zabisco was not here tonight. And again, the man who is working. Sockets?
Yeah, there we go.
Hi, Heather. Arnold says hi.
Hi.
Scared me when you hit that door. And now back to our regular scheduled program. Sorry for those of you watching on YouTube. That was my wife who had to come in and grab a tool to fix something I don't. Oh, I bet she's fixing our lawnmower. Yes, she's doing it, not me, because I break things. Where were we? Oh, the man who I hope is getting lots of overtime tonight. Me, Gene, comes out with none other than Captain Space Mountain Ric Flair. And he wants a cage match with Kurt Hennig.
E.
Okay. By the way, if you go back and watch this episode, there's only one redeeming factor for watching this. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it, stinker of a show, and that is Bobby Heenan just absolutely just doing Bobby Heenan things. Jim Kelly's in the audience. Ric Flair says something about that he's better than Elway. I love Bobby Heenan. Who's Elway? Bobby Heenan is an absolute national treasure, and I will die on that hill. But I love the fact that he wants a cage match with Hennig because remember, cage matches in WCW are not the same as they were in WWF.
Nope.
WWF, they make no sense. First one to escape wins. That's not the point. It's the point to lock them in there to make them fight it out. So I've always hated WWF matches. And if you tune into that Saturday night's main event on for modern day WWF, You'll notice you won't be hearing Jesse the Body Ventura anymore because he got fired for voicing the exact same opinion live on air. Did you see that one? Yeah, apparently there was some cage match and he got pissed because the guy just won by leaving. And he's like, well, this is stupid.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. The whole point of a cage match is to lock them in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
That's how it should be. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
That's right. Yeah. And he leaves after the other one's pummeled to death.
Right.
Yeah. Because every WWF cage match always ends with kick the guy, climb as slower than no human being would ever climb, get pulled back down. Except for that one time, oh, I'm going to win now. I can win now. I can climb fast. I hate that.
Yes.
All right. So what's our first match on hour 2 to get people glued to their seats here?
Oh, yeah, man. This is the one I've been waiting for. Hugh Morris. That's right, folks. Hugh Morris versus none other than Macho Man Randy Savage. And I got to say, it was fun watching Savage go back and forth with Jim Kelly there at the beginning.
I wrote the same thing.
Then he gets hit from behind by Hugh Morris, and then proceeds to get socked by both Jim Kelly and Bruce Smith. So yeah, that got a pop from the crowd. Why not? Fun little cheap heat spot. And this is a slugfest there for a minute. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And of course, all this comes to a screeching halt when Hugh Morris is like, you know what? I'm going to steal your finish. Savage says, no, you're not. So he plants his elbow into the mat, and Savage is like, all right, I'm going to do my finisher on you. Elbow drop. 1, 2. Hold up, I'm not done yet. Here comes another one. Boom, elbow drop. 1, 2. He's still not quite tender enough. Ref's like, hey man, maybe chill out on the elbow drops. Savage is like, here's a shot to the chin for your troubles. And going for a third elbow drop. And then for some odd reason, man, Bill from the electric company apparently didn't do his job right. And lights go back
Damn
out
it, Bill.
again. Yep. Come on, buddy. You have one job. And lights come back on. Savage is on the ground with a Sting mask on his face.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Who's behind this? It might be Sting. Or could be somebody in Sting's place. Who knows? All in all, though, entertaining match. I was very much a fan of this. I gave it a B+.
All right. Well, I can't argue with a lot of what you say. I can just add to it. I gave it a B, so we're pretty close. I liked it. It was entertaining. My favorite part of the entire show happens right here. And that is when, as soon as the lights go out and they're out for a couple seconds, Mike Tenay goes, this is eerie. And without missing a beat, Heenan goes, no, this is Buffalo. I'm just glad I wasn't drinking anything at the time, because I would have spit take. That was by far classic Bobby Heenan, with just instant wit. And it just national treasure, folks. I'm telling you, he should be in the Everything Hall of Fame because he was just amazing. Yeah, like you said, good match, and then the lights go out. We get a Sting mask, so I think we know who it is. And then, in classic WCW style, we go and we completely screw up a great angle. I think at this point everybody realized who's control, who's doing it right, especially with the Sting mask just slamming it in your face. Nope. Here comes Rick Rude and Eric Bischoff to blame Shivani, Tenay, and Heenan, who have cameras pointed at them for the last hour and 20 minutes. So did one of them wander off the big switch on the back and pull it? No, you can watch it on video. We're not stupid. Rick Rude and Eric Bischoff aren't stupid. Don't blame the announcers for this. That is the dumbest. Makes no sense whatsoever to blame the announcers. Now, if you want to come out and say, if somebody from WCW doesn't stop turning off the light and kicking our ass, we're going to do something. But to blame them? That's like going to the grocery store and you see a little old lady with a little walker and she's pushing it, and you blame her for it raining outside. It makes no sense whatsoever. But that part pissed me off. Did you think of it that way, or is it just me?
No, I get where you're coming from. And I just kind of laughed because I'm just like, they have some words for these announcers. And I was like, these guys seem a little nervous about these lights going out. But I did make note whenever they had Heenan's face on that close up, it was like perfect amount of fear. It was really funny. But at the same time, it was kind of odd that it came out and bullied the announcers for that whole thing, because it's kind of like, you guys are punching down. You'd think we need to see who's cutting these lights off. We should probably look backstage. I don't think we can do that from a booth with cameras pointed at us. But what do I know?
Exactly.
I'm just a mark watching this on TV.
Exactly. They end up putting him in like the three monkeys: hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil pose.
That
For
was
some
kind of
reason. Yeah, it was funny, but made no sense to me. All right. So, Arnold, I hope you took a lot of good notes on the next one, because I will read you mine. Our next match is for the television title. We have the champion, Perry Saturn, versus that disco idiot, Disco Inferno. Here's my notes. Saturn in control early. Apparently, Disco won. I fell asleep. I gave it a D because if I sleep through your match, must not have been a good one.
I can't argue
What
with
happened,
that.
Arnold? Because I sure as hell was not going to rewind and watch a Disco Inferno match. Sorry.
Nah, I don't blame you. Saturn started it off with a big slam and slap Disco, so that was kind of funny. And Saturn even said, "Hey man, like you can walk away." Disco's like, "Nah, I'm mad. I lost to a woman." And this fight spills outside. Saturn gets thrown into the steps, and at some point, oh, Disco ends up dumping Saturn into the rest of the flock. So that was kind of interesting. Let's see. Saturn hits a pump handle suplex for a 2 count. Disco reverses a power bomb from Saturn and hits his DDT thing or whatever. And Disco won by pinfall. Yeah, that happened.
So he's our new television champ.
Apparently, losing to a woman a few months prior gets you a title shot.
And not really winning a lot since then.
Nope.
Oh, maybe we'll get Disco versus Prince Iakea at Starcade because that's the
There you
big
go.
headline match.
It's the main event, man.
All right. Yeah, main event. Yo, ooh, can't wait. Woo. All right, so we have that match that was announced earlier when Buff comes out with Virgin versus Sexy Lexi. And yeah, let's see. Buff says he hasn't beat him yet. So let's see. Buff with the early advantage. Luger hits a really cool electric chair drop because Buff took like the most beautiful bump off that. And I love that. Scott Norton comes down, eats a forearm. Buff rolls out. Scott Norton and Virgin distract Luger on the outside. Ding, 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 ding. What? What was that for? 10 count. Buff wins by count out. I love this. This is great booking to me because you're trying to get, you want to protect Lex because you don't want him just to beat him here because eventually, that's how this is going to end. But you want the chicken shit Buff to be able to say, hey, you still haven't beat me.
Yep.
Even though he did it with heel tactics, that's perfect. So I liked it. To me, the only problem with it was, and I'm assuming they're saving a lot for the end because we had to save a lot for what's going to happen here at the end. It was a little too short for me. I wish we could have pulled it out a little longer and had them go a little more back and forth before the interference, but it's a minor gripe. So I gave it a B minus.
Sorry, I was taking a drink.
Oh, no worries.
Believe it or not, this may be a little bit of a surprise. I gave this one an A. This was an A match for me. Like the match up to that point, it was slow, methodical. Both guys were getting moves in. Buff was, flexing, doing his thing. I did like that Luger finally did that scream where he's flexing at you. That was awesome. And Buff was just like, whoa, big guy. It was funny. I think the finish was perfect considering, the character that is Buff Bagwell. Real cocky dude. Muscular. Can go in the ring. Might win by less than proper means, but that's what you want to do with a guy like that. Buff Bagwell's not a guy who's going to pin you clean. He's going to win somehow, some way, but it's going to be dirty. Or it'll be like this, where it's just like, I won. You were out of the ring for 10 seconds. I liked it. And I do like the fact that neither guy here went over without hurting the other. You're protecting Lex, obviously. And at this point here, this definitely sets up a payoff. And they couldn't have done that any better. That was great booking.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I probably could have went. I would have went A probably if it wouldn't have been so short. To me, this is only probably 5-6 minutes. Needed to be at least 10. But that's not the most questioning thing I have on this second half. It's coming up right now. We have a NWO paid advertisement on Roddy Piper. How long ago has it been since we saw Piper?
Probably about 5 months at this point.
Seems like it, doesn't it? It was at least the last we saw him was in the cage match when he got handcuffed to the cage and got the crap beat out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Halloween Havoc? Was it really that? Was it that? Or was it Bash at the Beach?
Oh wow, I can't remember.
I don't know. It seems like forever ago. So just having this random, nobody's mentioned the name Roddy Piper forever, and just to have this randomly, I'm wondering, did somebody stick in the wrong tape? I don't know. But then we get a video package on Sting. Foreshadow much? Yeah. So we move to the main event for tonight, as advertised. It is Scott Hall versus it's me, it's DDP. Self high five.
Bang.
All right. Yeah. Oh, I was like, what did I write Undertaker for? Did you see the giant Undertaker cutout somebody held up
Yeah, I
in
put
front of
that
the
in my
camera?
notes. That was hilarious.
Shout out to whoever you were. That's a ballsy move. That's hilarious. But as for the actual match, this was great. Um, I love that. I believe it was Tanay talks about the history between these two because I believe it was DDP used to manage Scott Hall back in the day.
Yeah.
Hilarious. This was a good hard hitting match. Scott Hall goes for the outsider's edge, but gets a back body drop by DDP. Great comeback by DDP. Then the NWO comes down. They start beating the crap out of DDP again. And the Sting dummy comes down from the rafters, goes through the ring. And after about a couple minutes, Hogan finally says, "All right, pull that dummy up out of there." And when they do, you can obviously tell either they used a dummy stuffed with lead this time, or that was a human being actually with dead weight. But it's turns out it's the real Sting, and he clears out the goon squad, and Hogan stands at ringside with his dumb struck look on his face. Arnold, this was great. This was dang near perfection. The match was good. The beatdown was inevitable. The Sting coming from the rafters was all great here again, and then the real Sting coming up out of it, absolutely perfect. Because we hadn't seen Sting for a while, other than maybe it was him turning the lights off, wasn't it? My God, just realized that.
Maybe.
Eric, that's my impersonation of Eric Bischoff in the back. Anywho, I love this angle. Hogan played this dumbstruck, stupid look, probably a little too well, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Um, I'm ready for Starcade, and it's
Mhm.
what 2 weeks away already, or 3 weeks from here. 2 weeks. I don't. 3 weeks
Two,
from
three
here.
weeks. Yeah.
2.5. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. I want to see Sting and Hogan. I want to see a lot of stuff. So yeah, I gave this an A to. I think it was the highest rated anything got in this show. Only A of the episode. Unlike last week's banger, it just put out great after great after great. This was an absolute letdown to me, but we'll get there with our final grades. I don't want to jump ahead. All right.
Fair
What
enough.
about you on this one?
This one also got an A. Um, like I said, I mean the match
No,
itself was
say that
good.
again. This one got a what?
A.
Okay. Sorry, kind of glitched out there for a second. Just
Oh,
want to
no
make sure you said
worries.
A.
Yeah, so this one got an A. Like the match itself was good between Scott Hall and DDP. Of course, we knew the NWO was going to show up and do their shenanigans. And we got the Sting thing again. Haha, we're taunting Sting. He's nowhere to be found. Next thing you know, who's the dummy now? And yeah, Sting needed to be there tonight. Like I put that on my notes. I said Sting needed to be here tonight because I don't think I could have took another week of the same old thing. Where it's like, oh, this little dummy drops out of the wrappers, fall through the ring. Ha ha ha. Nah, we needed Sting, and it was good that he was here. So just the match and the shenanigans after, all of it was just spot on.
Awesome. 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 All right. Well, that is the end of the show. We both gave it an A, but at least for me, this was a lot of stinker. I not just one A for me, and that was the very end. nearly got two Fs, but I changed them. Well, I changed one. Well, the disco match probably should have got an F because I fell asleep. But this is just going to average out to a very middle of the road, almost less than middle of the road, C minus for me. And I just wasn't feeling it, dog.
That's understandable. I would say like with oh, speaking of, I don't think I gave my grade for the Disco and Perry Saturn match. C minus, by the way, for that.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, but outside of that, this show all in all felt like filler. We're just kind of maybe pushing storylines along, just kind of dragging our way into Starcade, with the exception of Sting being there. It's okay, Sting's here. Maybe that'll, pick up the pace a little bit. We'll find out next week. Excuse me. All in all, though, the show ended up getting like a C with my average, and it was just kind of your run of the mill Nitro overall.
Yeah, it didn't really set up a lot for Starcade other than the Sting. A match between the Giant and Kevin Nash. Woo.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. But all right. So I said C minus. What was your final grade?
C.
C. So we're right there. Just a middle of the road. No, not even middle of the road because C's just it's there. It's not good. It's not bad. Mine was close to being bad. Very close. Remember, I was nice and gave Disco a D when I fell asleep during his match. The Ray trailer I changed significantly, so this easily could have been a D match, if not lower. So hopefully they can turn the ship around and get me excited for Starcade because I'm not really excited anymore.
Nope.
All right, Arnold. Well, that brings us to the end of another review of WCW Monday Nitro. It's hard to believe, today's our first episode debuted like 4 years ago.
Yep.
I know we took a year and a half off, like they're in between, but man, that doesn't seem like 4.5 or 4 years ago, does it?
It really doesn't.
Man, I just remember texting him one randomly. Hey, you like wrestling? You're cool. Want to start a podcast? Sure. What the hell?
Hadn't spoken to this guy in years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Outside of like occasionally Facebook comments.
yeah, Facebook comments, but hadn't really, I fell off the face of the map, moved to Mississippi, and I'm not a social person. I'm not a social person anyway.
I remember seeing that. I was just like, Drew's in Mississippi.
Yeah, it's for Heather's job. We moved everywhere, like 6 states in 2 years.
Sheesh.
I used to see North Carolina or South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, Mississippi, Indiana, Ohio, back to West Virginia. Or no. Yeah, back to West Virginia. Indiana, Mississippi, and then home.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was in a year and a half, just a little, about a month under 2 years. Yeah. Fun times. So, yeah. But 4 years ago, and here we are 150 some episodes later.
Yes, indeed.
Almost to 1998. Almost.
We're almost there.
So, every year when we get to the end of the year, we did it in 96. I think last year we did an award show. I think this year we might do a little different. But I'm going to keep it a surprise because I want your reactions off the top of your head. I don't want you to, it's something I don't want to think about. I'm going to do my best, even though I know what it is, to not think about it and have my answers prepared. So I'm not, but it's going to be one of the things. We'll do it right after Starcade. Special
Okay.
episode coming for the end of this year, wrestling year, too. So, yeah, go back and listen to the AWR awards last year. That was a fun episode. This one will be too. I promise. All right, Arnold. I think that's probably going to do it for tonight. Tune in next week as we review yet another Nitro because things from December 15th. No, that's another thing I was going to mention. If you're still listening, if you are watching along and you want to send in a review, send us an email with a review. Where can they send that, Arnold?
They can send that to AEWR316@gmail.com.
I don't check the Twitter anymore, so I'm not going to plug that. Thought about starting a Facebook page, see if we can get a little community started there because I'm done with Twitter. I'm done with Elon's hellscape.
Amen to that.
So I don't really check Twitter anymore. YouTube, go to our YouTube page. Today's episode was streaming live on YouTube. The pre-show was live on Twitch. I might switch it if YouTube gets some views. I might switch it over to YouTube. Might try get a Facebook group going. I might stream it live on Facebook. The pre-show, that is. So we'll see. But yeah, if you're watching along with us and want to review a match or a show, send us your review. We'll read it live on the air. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And if you watch it ahead of time and want to no, because we record. No, yeah, just send it in. We'll read it. We'll talk about it. See if we agree with you, or are you one of those idiots that thinks Hogan's heel turn was more iconic than the screw job? Not idiots, just people with wrong opinions. People with wrong opinions. All right, Arnold. I'm done. I'm ready to go home. I think if she got the lawnmower fixed, I'm going to have to go mow the grass. So why don't you just take us home?
I can and I will, good sir. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Nitro. Yet again. From December 8th, 1997, from the land of wings, Buffalo, New York. I have been the man with the velvet vocal cords, Arnold. And with me, as always, my tag team partner, the not one, not two, but three-time Armchair Booker of the Year, the Big Drewski. We're laying on our backs. 1, 2, 3. Peace out, YouTube.
Peace.